want to get on here briefly and ask this question. Why do we have to pay tips for service in a restaurant? Do you think that's being abused now and it's excessive, or just a common practice just that's out of control? And I know during the pandemic people paid excessive tips because they wanted quality service when service was at a bare minimum because of worker shortage. Right now we pay an average tip is 20 and 30%. So if I pay $100 for a meal, then I got to throw you extra $30 for just throwing my food in the microwave in a pre-packaged meal and heating it up, or half-cooked piece of meat out of your refrigerator and you put it in the microwave, or you put it on a grill and finish cooking it and serve it to me, and then want an extra $30. And if I take heaven forbid I have takeout and I check my food and it looks okay and I get it home and it's not okay, so why do I have to pay extra 30% for that? On the low end, 20%. I'll make a prime example here. A few years ago, I ordered a steak, and when the steak was brought to me, it was full of fat, and whatever lean part it did have, which is very small, it was greasy because of all the fat that was on that piece of meat. So I called the waiter over and I said, I can't eat this. I am not a farm animal. I can't eat this. So she went and got the cook who prepared it, and he looked at it and he took it back, and I said, oh, I don't want anything else. You shouldn't serve people food like that. And now the reason why I would think I should not have to give a tip to the waiter, even though she didn't cook the meals, because she took that plate and seen what was on it and tried to serve it to me. Like, this is a quality service that I want. I want to eat fat and grease. Or someone serve you some pre-packaged food, or pour you a soda in a cup, and they want some extra change because of it. Tips are absurd. I think it should be voluntary, or it should be done away with. And the restaurant owners that pay their employees at minimum wage and force them to rely on tips should be forced to pay them a little bit more, because tips is crazy. Why should I pay extra money for substandard service? If I call and order a meal that takes about 15 minutes to prepare, and I don't get it till after an hour later, and then you ask this question, how much are you going to tip today? And the answer is going to me is going to be zero. I'm not tipping. Also, I will say this also. When I go somewhere and I tip, and this is a place that I go more than once. When I tip based off the last time I was there. If I was there the last time and the service was outstanding, and the food I got when I got home in my car and the food was outstanding, it was what I asked for, then the next time I go, the first perception I see, if everything's good, you're getting a tip. But if the service was crappy, the next time I go there, you can't get a tip. I can't give you a tip. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Tipping people just because it's custom, and not because you're getting a quality service. Not because you're getting money is tight these days. I don't have 30% extra just to hand to you just because it's a custom. No, money's too tight for that. Come on, I know somebody going to look at this video. Leave me some comments about that. Should you hand someone 30% more than what the price calls for? And this is after paying taxes on it as well. I think you pay taxes on food in a restaurant. Maybe I don't. It depends on where I'm at. I don't know. but then I have pay taxes on the item I purchase and then tip you. You know, I'm gonna say this another one. You order from Domino's, and when you pay for it online, you include the tip in the purchase price, and the person that comes to your door they hand out for additional tip. I don't understand that. Don't understand it. If you want me to tip you, then I want 30% more quality service, or 20% more quality service, or whatever someone decides to give. Not because you dropped my fries and some grease and then saturated them with salt and then brought them to my plate, my table, and so I'm gonna charge you so and so for that, and I'm gonna include an extra 30%. I would like an extra 30% from you. Come on. If that's too much, tell me. Then there's another thing. I said tips. What are taxes? Man, those taxes is killing us. You know, they take income tax out your check. They take FICA. I can't think of the other ones. They take out several different taxes. They take out. The feds take out taxes. The state take out taxes, and the local government take out taxes. Then when you buy items, you get taxed again. What is all that for? I mean, it's like the government constantly have their hands in our pockets. I mean, income tax, FICA, all that stuff they take out. Then when you go to the store, they tax you again. Then you get gas, they tax you again. When you die, you get taxed. I mean, it's just they tax you from the time you're born until the time you die. And there's no such thing really as a red state, blue state, one tax more than the other. They all tax about the same. Why, you ask, do they tax the same? Because some states just call it a tax, and some states just call it a fee. But it's still a tax. You paid extra for something that you shouldn't pay for because that money's been taxed so many times, probably 5, 6, 7 times or more. I got a proposal. I know we can say the flat tax, but I was thinking about this. So if the government tax your money, maybe you should be allowed to say where more of that money goes to. Whether it should go into defense, whether it should go into who should go helping out. Should it go to social services, defense, highways, schools? I think you should elect where your money go to, at least a certain percentage of it. Besides, they take your money and they ship it overseas to Ukraine, other countries that waste and abuse it, Israel, all the different places we send this money to. But our country is desperately needing help and repairs and change. And you know what? I'm gonna go back to the pandemic again. I remember this. This is what they did with our tax dollars. They loaded up people that were on food stamps, and they doubled and tripled the amount of food stamps they gave them. And the people that worked and still worked during the pandemic, when they went to the stores to buy items, it was nothing there because they loaded up the people that did not work with extra money and food stamps. So they went to the stores while you were working, bought all the food they could buy excessively, and then when you got off your work, your hard day's work, and went to the store to buy you some food, it was all gone. And not only that, you were limited in the amount you could buy because you worked and you had a limited income in what you could purchase. And the ones that were given the money could purchase as much as they wanted. Now, how is that fair? I believe in helping the disadvantaged and the elderly and those who can't fend for themselves. But a lot of these individuals can actually go out here and get a job, but choose not to because the money is just being given to them. And you sit back and watch our national debt just increase right on up. What you guys think about that? Or how we just give our money to people that don't work? If you're able-bodied, you should be working. That will increase the amount of tax revenue, supposedly, so everyone can pay less. But instead, we got people that sit home. And the Bible say this: man don't work, you shouldn't eat. If you don't work, you shouldn't eat. I don't go. People should not go to work and work 8 and 12 hours, 40 hours, 80 hours, 60 hours a week, and pay for them and attempt to pay for their families, but in the process pay for someone else too. That can go work, but decide not to. That's something that just grind my gears. I do not want the government in my pockets taking my money and giving it to the person that's not working. And that's what tipping is actually doing too. You're taking your hard-earned money and they guilt you. They make you feel guilty if you don't give a tip for poor and inadequate service. Woo! Okay, that's about it. That's about it, I tell you. Man, we just dumb down a lot of people. We just dumb down a lot of people. You know, I'm gonna think about it. I'm originally from Maryland, and I'm gonna use this for example. In Maryland, when you buy a car, you pay taxes on that car when you purchase it, and that's it. You don't pay taxes on it no more. But in South Carolina, when you purchase a car, you pay taxes on that car every year. That's the government of South Carolina having their hands in your pocket every year. If you own a business, you have to pay each year for all the assets, equipment you have in your store, your business in South Carolina. So to me, there's no such thing as a red state and blue state. That stuff's just made up. Because they all got their hands in our pockets equally. Some call it a tax, and some call it a fee. And in Maryland, they call it a tax and they call it a fee too. It just different variations. And in South Carolina, it's actually the same way. And I'm quite sure the other states is the same way too. And then they take your dollars, your hard-earned dollars that you work for, that you actually earn, and they say, you know what? We're gonna ship this over to someone else and neglect our own country. We subsidize in the European Union defense, Israel's defense, a lot of third world country defense. I say screw them. I say take care of our country here. Take care of our country first. Improve our schools and our roads, our infrastructure. When you go to other countries, look at the airports, it's magnificent. Magnificent. And you look at ours, it's real shoddy. Broke down and disgusting looking. because we're not taking care of our own. We take care of someone else. And if America gets to the point where the debt burden becomes so great that we collapse, those other countries will keep on going. And I wonder how much support they will give us. Probably none. Okay, I'm on here rambling about whatever time now. It's time to go. I just want to say them two things about tips and about taxes. Thank you. Feel free to leave me a comment on how you feel about it, and maybe we can have an update or further discussion on this. Thank you guys. Have a good day.